My name is Stephanie Rasmussen, and I am an assistant professor in the Department of Accounting. My PLC project this semester involves using videos to flip managerial accounting. I'll be discussing a little bit of background information that led up to my project, followed by project methodology, assessment, results, and a brief conclusion. To give you a little bit of background, I've encountered two problems in past semesters. First, I felt like I don't have enough class time to solve more complex accounting problems. Instead, most of my time is spent solving basic problems for my students. And secondly, the in-class discussions I encourage that are related to business news are often of average quality, and I would like to enhance that. With these two problems in mind, my project purpose has been to improve student engagement through the use of video assignments. More specifically, this semester, my students have been required to watch videos in advance of class, and those videos either involve me working problems for the students and or explaining formulas or analysis techniques, or students watching the business news or reading the business news in advance of class and then answering questions. The technology I've used to facilitate this project includes a Microsoft Surface Pro 3, which was provided by my department, as well as Camtasia Studio 8 and a headset with microphone that were both purchased by the PLC. In terms of the problem-solving videos, I've created 1 to 2 videos for each chapter, and I felt it's important that I prepare the videos myself so that the students see me working the problems and hear my voice explaining them. As I said, these videos either include a discussion of formulas or analysis techniques, or more often, me actually working step by step through an end of chapter problem. The goal of this all has been to then use class time to work more complex problems, and that's what I have been doing. Here's an example of a problem video that I've provided my students. I'll show you a brief section of it. Pre-tax operating income is that $200,000 we've used before. We are told that the required rate of return for our company is 10% or 0.1, and we want to multiply that by the total assets, $1,250,000. In terms of the business news assignments, I have created 1 to 2 assignments for each chapter that are assigned to students. They either complete the video viewing or reading, and then complete accompanying questions with the assignment. The class time is then no longer used to present the business news to the student, followed with a discussion. Instead, class time is focused solely on the discussion related to students' collective answers to the questions that were submitted earlier. The next few slides show some examples of these business news assignments. This is an example of an assignment I created myself based on a Wall Street Journal video that I had found a few semesters ago and previously shown in class. Students click on the link to watch the video, and then they answer the questions that follow it. Alternatively, I've also included a few assignments that are not video related in terms of business news, but reading related. And here's one example of these. All of the reading assignments come from accountingintheheadlines.com, and they involve very short reading, such as what's shown here, as well as a few following questions that the students need to complete. In terms of holding students accountable for largely the videos that are involved in my PLC project, I've been giving students participation credit for each assignment that's completed, whether it's viewing a video or answering questions related to business news. For the videos, I have been tracking students' access of the videos through Blackboard's statistics tracking process. This allows me to see whether the students clicked on the link to initiate the video or not. Unfortunately, it doesn't allow me to see how much of the video the student actually watched. In terms of the business news, the students are submitting a document through Blackboard with all of their answers, and so I'm able to see those and read those in advance of the class discussion. I decided to assess this project through 3 different methods. First, I have surveyed students twice, and I'll discuss some of the survey results in just a minute. I have also been working to compare the midterm and final exam grades for this semester to one of my classes in fall 2015, which I consider the control group, and I've also been documenting my own perceptions of student learning and engagement. Here's one of the questions I asked students on the survey. It was, do you feel that the participation assignments in general, which would include both the videos and the company activities or business news activities, significantly increase my engagement, somewhat increase my engagement, do not affect my engagement, somewhat hinder my engagement, or significantly hinder my engagement? The surveys were given following Exam 1 and Exam 2, and as you can see here, the response rates are relatively similar after each exam. In total, what we see here is that for the questions or the responses involving significantly increase and somewhat increase, the response to those two combined answers was 76% following Exam 1 and 71% following Exam 2, so relatively similar to each other. In general, this suggests that the students are finding that these activities do increase their engagement. I was also interested in knowing beyond engagement how students felt the activities affected their learning for the exams, and in particular the videos where I did problem solving or explained analysis techniques and formulas. Following Exam 1, we can see here that students felt it was extremely helpful, very helpful, or somewhat helpful 76% of the time. And those responses increased following Exam 2 to 82%. So the trend suggests that the more the students use these videos and experience them, the more useful they're finding them to be. I was also interested to know how willing students would be to complete these activities if they did not receive participation credit for them. Following Exam 1, I asked students, if you did not receive points for watching the participation videos, meaning the problem-solving videos, would you be less likely to watch the videos? 55% said yes, they would be less likely to watch the videos, and that decreased to 44% who would be less likely to watch the videos following Exam 2. Again, evidence suggesting that as the students use the videos more, they are finding them to be more helpful, and they would be more willing to do them without credit. In terms of the business news activities, or what I've called company participation activities for the students, would you be less likely to complete these if you did not receive points? The overwhelming majority of students after Exam 1 and Exam 2 both said they would be less willing to complete these activities. Now, it is important to note I didn't really intend these to be activities that would help students learn vast amounts of material for the exam. It was more to just give them some real-world examples to tie the concepts we were learning to the business world. In terms of comparing student grades to midterms exams, you can see here comparisons for fall and spring, both for Exam 1 and Exam 2, which were similar to each other in each semester. I've seen the exam scores this semester actually lower in terms of both exams versus what they were in the fall. Interestingly, as I dug into this further, I found that students scored lower both on the multiple choice section as well as the problem components of these exams, which leads me to be a little uncertain as to what's causing this. One concern I have is with this comparison is that my day sections were my fall sections were day classes, whereas my class this spring is a night section. And I have experienced some issues in the past with grading differences between day and night sections. I'm not sure if that's what I'm seeing here or if it might be due to something else. In terms of my perceptions, students appear to be accessing these videos pretty frequently, particularly in the week leading up to the exam, which I think is evidence that the students do appreciate them. Their personal comments have been to me that they like the videos, but I'm afraid they might not be using them optimally. I think they're viewing them, but I don't know if they're using them as an opportunity to rework those problems and use the video as a solution or step-by-step guide to when they run into trouble. I can definitely tell, though, that in-class discussion regarding business news is significantly better now that students have had time to prepare their question answers in advance. In conclusion, my videos have allowed me to flip some of the components of my managerial accounting class. Overall, student feedback has been very positive, particularly with respect to the problem-solving videos, but unfortunately I haven't yet seen that translate into higher exam scores. I think I need to do additional effort to ensure that students optimally use the videos. Thank you.